if you guys can see that. Okay, this is tight now. And let's add a little bit of oil here. And check the level. Now that I got oil literally everywhere. Okay, cool. We're at the max level, and she's ready to run. But first, I'm gonna get some soap water, and spray it everywhere where the oil got, and then I'm gonna rinse it off because this is fucking disgusting right now. I've also have a bunch of it leaking from the supercharger now. I did this a few times after I noticed that it worked, so that you guys can see it. But actually it's not terrible. What you don't want is to get it on the you don't want to get it on the belt is what it is. But this is okay. This is a 12 wrench, by the way. Okay. Oh, this is loose too. Make sure that's nice and tight. Okay. We're in business. We're primed. We're ready to idle. Well, shit. Let's get some cleanup going, and then I do have to tap in the mass airflow. If that's not plugged in, it's not going to idle worth the shit. So, definitely long enough to get plugged in, but we need to tap in the frequency tap, and then first let me clean this up before it gets too gross, and my hands are disgusting right now, so I will be right back. Alright guys, I got this all the oil pretty cleaned up, and one thing I do want to do before I get further along is I want to get this installed, because I'm kind of done with this area, and just one less thing that's lingering as far as like what needs to be done. And this is a little cover that came with the kit, and if you notice, it's got a cutout for the bumper guard, and it goes around, and if you mount this correctly, it'll go over it right here, like so. And then it'll route air directly in there. So we're gonna see what it looks like. I'm gonna put it on here first, and looks like honestly, I don't know if I'm happy with it, but we're gonna give it a shot. And yeah, I'm gonna play around with it a little bit, and then I'll update you guys on what I decide. But ideally, I'd like to keep it. Obviously, they included it for a reason. It must help in some kind of way, and I would like to have the partial bumpers on the outside. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and mount this because I think I can make it look real clean, but I had to improvise with the install a little bit. So this thing looks like, honestly, it looks like it'll hold on with just some tie wraps right here. You don't need to do what I'm doing. But I bent the tabs on the outside a little bit towards the brace, and then I'm running a stainless steel tie strap through it so that it doesn't ever move out of place. I I don't want this thing to be like floating all over the place. But I also didn't want to drill it here, because if at some point I might decide to just leave this exposed, because I really like the way this came out. So if I do that, I want the option to do that. So here's what I'm doing. I'll show you guys. I'm going to feed this through here. Like this. And then, I did it backwards. I need to do it upright. Well, it needs to come over like this, so that this faces down here. So let's do it this way. You gotta be careful when you're doing this, because I've already scratched the intercooler a little bit. Oh my God, come on. Come on. Yes. Yes, sir. Alright. This isn't really going anywhere, and it looks pretty straight. It's leveled on top and on bottom. Alright, now for the gun. This isn't something most people have, but I got it, so I use it, and it's very nice. It tightens it before it cuts it. Check this out. There we go. Nice and cut, and grab this side. This is real nice for like header wrap and wrapping motorcycle exhaust. And I brought these just in case, but we don't need them. Okay. Still a little bit undecided on this whole thing, but we're working with it. Completely got derailed. I should be starting the car right now and priming the oil, but all of this stuff gets us closer to completely putting the bumper back on and being 100% done, which is what we want. I don't think this will go anywhere. Hopefully not, because I'll have to remove the bumper again if I do. That's gonna fucking suck. All right, let's grab the bandsaw and we're gonna try to fit this in. I'm not even sure how to go about cutting this, to be honest, because I didn't measure it. But I think it's right here. Because that's where the angle's at. Let's put this stuff away before I forget. Alright. I'm not really sure I want to use this yet, so right now where I'm at with it is either it comes out good and we use it, or we fuck it up and we don't use it. Okay, there's one. Let's see if we get lucky, because we did almost no measuring. What? Alright, we're a little bit short on this side, a little bit long on this side. but we can make it work. Also cut it a little bit crooked over here. Okay, let's give this a try. Sure, look at that. Okay. Oh, this is pissing me off. It's not bad though. Alright, I did another cut right here, and with this piece added, it actually looks pretty damn good now. So I'm leaving it. And hopefully the bumper fits, because this little step here does look like it hits, and I don't know if this section makes contact with the bumper, so we're going to find out. Worst case scenario, I can trim that. Alright guys, so here's where we're at. I need to start the car and I need to run it until it gets up to temperature so that I can finish. I need the thermostat to open so I can finish adding the coolant that it's low. The shit that leaked out when I opened up the lines. And then we also need to check the Rotrex reservoir to make sure that there's enough oil in there. So first things first, I have to finish putting the battery on, and it kind of started picking up. What did I do with my little wrench? I need a 10 mil. Jeez. Alright, so the positive already in. I went ahead and added some oil or grease to the poles, because I saw a little bit of corrosion. And then this has to come off, because right now I have the mass airflow sensor plugged in, but it's temporary. I just have it on just long enough to turn on the car. And I'm going to turn it on jacked up, and because, oh, here's my other 10 mil. Son of a bitch. Just losing shit everywhere. There's still things I got to do, so. Alright guys, first startup. It's not going to start the first time, but it should start the second time. rev it to 3,000 RPM, slow and steady, while I add oil. Ready? Alright, let's check for any leaks. I won't be able to check for boost leaks until I hook up the boost gauge, but or the air fuel ratio. Actually, the air fuel ratio is going to be really what gives me all the information I need. But so far, man, I'm so happy right now. Everything sounds great. Okay guys, let me show you how this frequency clamp is used, or wired I mean. So this part here is going to go to a fuse tap, what R Racing recommends. Sorry for the fireworks, it's 4th of July right now, and I'm over here stuck in my garage. So red wire goes to the 12 volt power source, and where they recommend to tap in is the wiper fuse. As far as these guys go, so the orange wire is not used, and I verified that with Rafi. He said it just gets capped off, so it's in here, cut off right about there. And I have another wiring shield that I'm going to install on here, but I wanted this protected as well. If anything happens to this, the car's going to go into limp mode. So we don't want that to happen. And the way this is wired is, you see this, this is a signal modifier. This is going into your mass airflow sensor. Mass airflow sensor has a tan wire. Imagine this is a tan wire running all the way across, right? The yellow goes towards the mass airflow sensor side and into the signal modifier and back out to the same tan wire on the other end. So you're going to cut the wire off of the mass airflow sensor, and then this hooks up to one side, this hooks up to the other. This goes on the sensor side. Okay? The black, that just gets piggybacked onto the gray wire, which is right here. So that's what we're going to do. And this guy's going to get a fuse tap, and we should be good to go. And then where I'm going to mount this is I'm going to mount it on the cover of the fuse cover. It just seems convenient there, and if I ever need to modify it, there has been some instances where this needed to be adjusted because the car would go into limp mode at like 60 something 100 RPMs. That happened to Brian's car, and there's an adjustment inside of here. It takes 5-10 minutes to do it. You'll need 2 people, and Rafi can walk you through how to do it if for some reason this isn't adjusted properly. But it should already come ready to go, so we won't really know until we break in the car and actually test it and start doing some dyno pulls. But for now, let's get this wired and get the show on the road. Alright guys, I am super tired and I just want to get this done. So here's the gray wire, here's the tan, and just to verify, tan's on the end. That one right there. Connect yellow wire from module. So we're going to cut it right here. Strip it. Okay. And once we strip it, we got our little connector. We're gonna crimp it. Okay. Pull on it, make sure it's tight. And then we're gonna cut ourselves a piece of shrink wrap, and we're going to slide it on this side enough to where we can expose the crimp side, and then this one we're going to strip it. Guys, this supercharger gets so hot just from running it up to temperature. This was over an hour ago. It's still hot as shit. It's crazy. Alright, and we're gonna connect this one. And we're gonna crimp it. Okay. Alright. So solid yellow goes to the sensor, and the yellow black goes to the ECU. So solid. I'm gonna strip just a hair more just in case. I'm paranoid. Just a tiny little bit. I think those are okay. Alright. Where are you? There we go. Yellow, make sure it's seated all the way, and there we go. This is nice and tight. Alright, and now we're gonna seal that. Okay, so that goes to the sensor, and then the yellow black goes to the ECU, so that's the back one right here. Let's see, cut another piece of shrink tubing, drop that back. After this is all done, I'm also wrapping it with tape, and I'm using some plastic shielding for it. Spin that a little bit. Man, it was so good listening to the car run earlier. I still got to run it longer and check for leaks before I put the bumper on, and I gotta run gauges, I gotta do a ton of shit, but the car's running. That's huge. I'm just using a lighter because it's faster, but I typically use a shrink gun, a heat gun I mean. And yeah, so this guy right here is gonna tap into the gray. So just to double check, we have black going into gray. Gray is right here. And this one's going to use a splice connector, so I'll show you guys how I do those. So that, I'm just going to strip it a little bit. Come on. There we go. All right, stripped. That guarantees me a solid connection, and vibrations aren't going to let it loose contact. And we're going to use one of these guys here. So, spade is going to go on this little guy. Make sure it's bottomed out. Alright. Nice and tight. Okay, now this one, this guy right here, right in the area that we stripped. And we're going to close it. And then now, this plugs in there. But before we do that, okay, yeah. So this will plug in there. Like that. I'm pretty sure that's all the way in. There we go, all the way in. Bottoms out. Okay. Now, we're going to tape it. And the way I routed it, I'm going to mount this somewhere in here, either on this side or on this back side. Probably here, if I have enough length. But for right now, sucks because I'm running out of man. I don't have a lot of real estate here to do the taping. Come on. Alright. This I'm going to feed underneath. But before I do that, let's get the plastic shielding. Alright, so I'm going to walk this up. Basically, I'm feeding it up as I get it in here. And you guys should see it pop up on that side. This is where we're at with the frequency clamp so far. I have it mounted to my fuse cover. My fuse cover already had holes from mounting the Ethanol Analyzer kit over here, so this might not be permanent, but right now it's the cleanest spot that it'll reach. I might have to extend the wires in the future if I want a better spot for it. Really the only reason I would consider moving it is if something interferes with the strut brace after I put it on. But right now you can see the wire is getting around here. My recommendation is don't have anything touching the supercharger. This shit gets so hot just idling. It's crazy, and it stays hot for hours after you shut it off. So in the future, what we have coming is a shield to deflect heat from the intake. I think we can lower that by quite a bit just by separating this area, and maybe even putting some heat tape on it as well. And it shouldn't be too hard to build. I mean, we're talking about just some thin metal pieces, kind of like what's on the front of the intercooler cover, which I'm surprised they don't honestly include with the kit, because this is a problem here for sure. So where I ran the wires is through there, under, you can see it right here. This is the mass airflow sensor down there. It's out of the way of the serpentine belt, so nothing's touching anything hot. It goes underneath, unbothered, right here, right where you can get to it. So I'm very happy with the routing for that. There's stuff that we can still zip tie in place all over the place, but that cleanup will happen later. Right now what I need to do is the focus is to get the ECU swapped, to get the frequency clamp on, and the AEM controller installed, so that I can actually start buttoning things up. And the goal is by the end of today to start the braking period. So that's the goal. Installing the gauges, all that, I can do that while the car is running. But right now, the car being upright in the jack stands and taking up the whole fucking garage, that's not working for us anymore. It needs to be running. This is my fuse tap. Right now, what we need to do is cut a little sliver right here, so that this will cleanly pass through, and we don't have to overthink this too much. We're just gonna make a couple cuts there like that, and they are gonna go down deeper like that. And then now that it's here, we'll bend it out and cut across and see if that's enough. So before I cut it, I'm gonna see if it'll go in. So it looks like it's gonna hit. I need a little bit deeper, but what I want to do is do kind of like a circle in that area. So to do that, we're gonna do this. We're gonna cut it into a V, and then we'll smooth it out after with a knife. I can always silicone this too, to block out any unnecessary heat in there. Just put my blade away. No, I didn't. It's right here. Man, working with plastic is a love-hate thing. Okay, this lets me plug in there now, and it looks like I may have cut it a little bit too much. That's annoying. There we go. Get that smooth little angle on there. This cover may need a little bit of trim right here. Same rounded approach. Humidity's killing me right now. Almost there. Okay, let's grab a baby file and work this. I have these little guys work real good for that. Kind of rounded. Alright guys, enough of the frequency clamp. That's set for now. I'm not entirely happy with it. I want to get cleaner shrouding for the wires here, but it's in there, it's clean, nothing's pressing on it. I drilled a hole in the plastic here so I can secure this in place so this doesn't move around. Happy with that. Now what's next is we got to get this ECU in. And I've never taken it off before, and I can't imagine that it's hard, but it's also not simple because there's so many plugs on it. So we're gonna find out exactly how hard it is. Let's put these somewhere where they don't get lost. It's right here. Okay. There's the cover for the ECU. The ECU is right here. And first order of business is, see, this is the part that's tricky, removing this part. And by the way, my negative is disconnected, so make sure you don't have power to this. Removing these shouldn't be hard. You got to be real careful not to bend any pins when you plug the new one in. So here's the tricky part is I need to be able to, I got to take this bolt off, remove it, but I don't know what's back here. I don't know what needs to come off on this side. This is my wire that I haven't really ran yet. See, this might have to come off completely actually, in order to get the ECU off. So let's get as many of the plugs as we can reach out, which is most of them actually. Okay, and as far as this goes, this is also a 10. Let's get a ratchet over here. Okay, let's not lose this guy either. Okay, I'm gonna get a flathead, and I think what I can do is move these out of the way. I think I just need to move this blue one out of the way. Let me see how. There might be another screw behind it. I don't want to break this tab, come on. Okay, I need a pick. I need to get this out of that clip. There we go. Okay, well, we got it. Okay, there's another bolt down there on the bottom. Let's take that motherfucker out. Okay, what I did here was I shoved the pick in there and I worked this out because there's a clip in there that is honestly, there's no way to pull it off. I'm surprised this didn't bust. But there we go. And I'm gonna grab a magnet because that's kind of deep down there. Let's see, reach in here. There we go. I wonder how many triggered comments I'm gonna get. Clean up your workspace. Alright. Got it. Let's put this guy away. Alright. Here is our tuned by Loy ECU. This bad boy has hurt a lot of feelings. And then we're going to wrap this guy and guard it with our lives. This is a brand new 16 ECU that I got from a dealership in New York. And if you buy an ECU locally, it's $1,500. that dealership in New York had a brand new ECU for the 15 and 16 models, which is right here. I think I paid $1,100 after tax, so I saved $400. And if you're wondering about the differences, here's the part number. So it's 276-200, 1351 is late 16, like October-ish, I think. And oh my god, fuck man. Sorry guys, my camera keeps overheating, but all I'm doing is plugging everything back. After I removed that other sensor, I was able to get the grommet in properly. And now what I'm doing is I'm making sure that these are completely lined up before I put any pressure on them, if that makes sense. So that one's lined up, that one's lined up, okay? And now I can actually, if you can tell, this back piece just snapped in place, so that's set. First connector set. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on. And 6. All right. Nothing pinched, nothing weird happened. Everything was good. And now it's time to put the cover back on, and this part is done. This is how you swap an ECU on an RCF. I'm pretty sure it'll be this. All right, guys, it's time to install the wideband sensor, and my tap for it is right here. So we're gonna take this off. I plan on running it behind the heat shield. I'm gonna tap into this return line here, and not tap into it, but strap onto it, and then just kind of send the connector all the way up there. And this is what the sensor looks like, and this is the plug for it. This is the part that's going to go into the firewall, this little guy. This big plug will stay down here behind up above the headers somewhere, hopefully. Yeah, so let's get this started, and then after this we'll be at a point where I need to flash the ECU. So exciting, man. We're getting closer. Man, I got so much footage on this camera, it's crazy. Alright, it looks like it does have anti-seize on it. Get this threader. Alright. Alright, I want this nice and tight, but not so tight that I cross thread it. Definitely don't want any exhaust leaks though. Alright, now I gotta figure out, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna run it up here. So just in case you guys are wondering, you could go through this grommet right here. And this is the original spot where it goes up through the center. You'll have to take the carpet off. I don't know, I mean, I don't know that this plug fits in there. So, and I think the sensor might fit from the inside if you put it through, but if I ever got to swap it out, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So I think I'm gonna just take a chance and see if I have enough cable to go up through here and then through the firewall and up to the pillar. Like I said, if I gotta extend wires, I will. extending wires ain't that hard. So, but we're gonna hopefully work with what we got and be okay. Okay, I have the wire on the side that I need it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug the bottom in, and then I'm gonna tie this area to the bottom and pull this all the way up, and hopefully it gets routed in the area that I'm looking to get it routed to. What I am hoping that'll happen is I don't want this to get caught anywhere tight, so that's why I had to reroute the wire to a more open space. So hopefully that doesn't give us any issues, but I think we're gonna be fine. And this gives us plenty of slack to wire through into the pillar. At least that's the plan. Let's get some tape. All right, so I was able to run it right where I wanted the cable, basically out of the way of any heat source. And a bonus is that the plug is up here. So if I ever need to replace this sensor, I don't have to dig for the plug. I can unplug it from here, and that gives me all of the length that I need for the gauge wire. So this is all gonna get ran through the boot that's right there on the firewall. And I'm just trying to get everything, absolutely everything that needs to go across so that I don't have to do it one more time. I've already ran it once with this line for the methanol, and this time, honestly, I think I'm gonna have to go on the edge, and it's gonna suck. I'm not looking forward to it, but it's just one step closer to getting done with all of this. So I actually got to go and look at my checklist now to see what else is left up here. There is a safety relay that comes with the Innovate gauge. That's not being used here because we don't have a boost controller on a turbo setup. We have a supercharger. There's no boost controller. The boost is regulated by the pulley, and it's not adjustable. So we don't need to use that. The only thing we need is this map sensor, which the instructions state not to put it anywhere where there's heat. So I have no idea if it's going to survive here, but it does say that this has to point down, which it is. My only thing is that I'm hoping this area gets enough air that mounting it here would be the same as mounting it over here. I'm just kind of like, honestly, it's hot. I'm taking a break, so I'm just talking just to talk. I'm kind of letting you guys know how my brain works when I'm going through all this. I did super glue this spot that I had cut here, and it's holding together pretty well. Very happy with the way this looks. This looks well put together. It doesn't look slapped in there like. All right, I have the Ethanol Analyzer gauge wire ran. That wasn't so bad. I just had to scrape my hands. That's it. All right. It is time to get this thing flashed because I'm running out of time, and I need to know if the car is going to run or not, because if it doesn't, then I'm just going to relax and call it a day. All right. I'm going to plug in our little dongle. Let's get in the car. Oh, Jesus, seat's all the way back. Okay. So, we did all this already. I'll start from the beginning and just recap real quick. So, I downloaded the software from Tactrix. Don't go on the website. They actually give you the links, so type in the URL that they're providing right here. So https pcflash.ru, and this is the zip file. This is the exe file for the drivers. Download these and get them installed. Now we're at the plug-in to open port cable into the USB port, and plug the cable into the vehicle's ODV2 port located under the steering column. We just did that. We need to plug this to the laptop, so we're going to do that. There we go. And I'm connected to my network as well. Alright, first things first, we gotta open up the software. Close all this shit. Okay. Where is the software? PCM Flash, right here. Guard-on dongle not found. Make sure the guard-on dongle is connected to the computer and the latest guard-on driver is installed. Bitch, I did install the fucking driver. Oh, you know what? I didn't. I downloaded the driver. But... Are you shitting me right now? Okay, guys. So here's what I missed is this little USB dongle that comes with the kit. It needs to be plugged in, otherwise your PCM Flash app will not open. So now we're at for RCF, choose Toyota 76F196. Okay, right now we're at the J25 34 Tactrix, and then for this one we want Toyota. Where are you? Ford. Can we just type Toyota? Select identification and follow the on-screen instructions. Please turn on the ignition. We're gonna push that twice. Okay. Alright, so I don't know what this is, but this is just the ECU info. We're going to take a picture of it just in case we need it. Okay, so next step. Select identification and follow on-screen instructions. Once the identification is complete, copy highlighted information. Email it to Rafi. I don't have to do that because I already have the tune. So once the tuning file is received, save it on your computer. Open PCM Flash. Select the appropriate tuning file. Okay. Okay. I think that's the 3 dots. Alright. Well, we might break this. Alright. Where is my RCF tune files? Here is SE Stage 2 E40. This is the one we're looking for. Open. Okay, so that's on there, and then now we're gonna write it. So open PCM, select the appropriate tuning file and click write. Okay. Power is a little low on the battery, so I'm gonna have to put the tender on it. It should be closer to 13, but as long as it doesn't drop below 12, we should be good. Alright, we're gonna see if she starts. So it's not gonna start the first time, and then it should the second.